Hello, oh my god, good evening and welcome to the Thingamajig Racing channel. Hang on, I've got to change some settings. Just as I was about to broadcast, they changed the lobby, they closed the lobby. They said, are you alright? I said, yeah, I'm just about to broadcast. And as I'm putting in the name of the YouTube stream, the lobby closed. It was like, what? So all the settings are wrong. There we go. Now, reset. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing channel. We're back. It's been a long wait, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. It's been a minute since we've joined the world racing community, but they are back again on their new time slot, their Saturday evening. They opted. They decided. I had nothing to do with it, I promise. But they moved over to Saturday night for... I think more availability. I think people could not race on Fridays as easily as they could on Saturdays. So it's the same mugs, different day. We're live and we're with the Group 3 60-minute endurance racers in the Group 3 cars, the GT Challenge. It's their third series of this. It's the second series. I think this is where we came in, ladies and gentlemen, with the world racing community. Where I started streaming was their GT Challenge. It was season 2 of the time, and now it's back. It's gone all the way around in a huge old circle, and we're back here again where we started. Ed in the chat saying hello from the other side of the pond from Can Do. Well, hello Can Do. Oh man, I haven't seen you turning a wheel for a while, man. I've got to see you back on track. You've got to get in something. Oh, he said lobby reopen. I reckon he pressed the wrong button, ladies and gents. Instead of starting qualifying, he clicked end qualifying, end lobby. So anyway, I have rules and stuff, but it looks like we are just about to get off and qualify, which is pretty straightforward. I think that's 15 minutes on a set of soft tyres. Fastest first for the grid. I'll read you their bump. That would be the easiest way about this. World Racing Community, Season 9. GT Challenge, Season 3. A fan favourite season makes its long-awaited return. Race regulations, open Group 3 class. No restrictions on car choice. The car you pick is the car you stick with. Balance of performance will be on. BBAL allowed. Tyres ×2. Soft, medium, intermediate and wet compounds available. Fuel is at ×3. It's a 7-litre refill. And tyres you set fastest lap on is what you start on. Qualifying is a timed session, a length of 15 minutes, track dependent, and the races will be 1 hour, 60 minutes, ladies and gents, except for the 1.5 hour for Triple Crown events. And it will be a rolling start. Races to run on Saturdays. Yoo-hoo, it's Saturday. Oh no, things have gone all wrong on the... No, it's still working. It looked like it had all frozen on the iPad. Races will be run from lobbies open at 7. Qualifying will begin at 8, as we have done. They're making their way round now on the outlaps. And yes, and we are at Daytona for round 1, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up, buds. So Rude's in the chat saying, cheers, my ostrich brother, rock on Saturday. And the Duffman saying, evening thingy, hi everyone in the WRC, good luck from Duffman and Mrs. Duffman on holiday in Cornwall. Ooh, have you tried their cream and their cider and all of the other goodies? So let's have a look. Who have we got then in attendance, ladies and gentlemen, as they're doing outlaps? We can check it out. We have Tommy Rue. And he looks like he is going to be representing the Audi Group. The Audi Group have welcomed Tommy Rue into their fold, and he will be representing the Audis this season. 8 rounds long, I believe. So, Tommy Rue, tricky car, I would say. Tricky car. I haven't driven it much, but I have heard it's a tough one to handle. Jed is on the Honda, ladies and gentlemen. He signed up with Honda this season. And our Polish wonder will be steering the Honda, hopefully, to the top of the podium in this championship. M. Beeks is in the Renault, and judging by... No, because that's the Dutch flag, isn't it? It's not the French flag, that's the Dutch flag. So, well, maybe he's chose the Renault anyway. And M. Beeks, a name I don't recognise, so welcome aboard, M. Beeks. Deviant, we know him. Of course we know him. Beautiful, beautiful looking Merc there, sir. And he'll be representing the McShadies this season. Beautiful stuff. Sir Storm is in a Ford, the Canadian driver. I think I might have seen him pop up in 1 or 2 races. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%, but that to me looks like either my game hasn't loaded the livery in, his game hasn't loaded the livery in, or there isn't a livery on that car. There's 3 options, it could be either. Tommy Roo so far, fastest man, no Deviant in the McShady, has knocked Tommy Roo from the top by 0.05 of a second. M. Beeks has put a time down, good enough for third, no, because Bob has just knocked him off in the in the old Williams livery as well. I am on board for that one from BOB. AT Racing then 0.4 faster than the Thunder. The Thunder has brought it, ladies and gentlemen, in the Porsche up to second ahead of Deviant's McShady. Tommy Roo in 4th. We've got M. Beeks in the Renault in 5th. We've got Sir Storm in 6th at the moment, currently in the Ford. We've got Ozzy is in 7th place in the McLaren, doing a wonderful job. 8th for Autosport, and he'll be driving a Lexus. I don't even need to see it. It's the only car he sees himself. Huds is just moved up to 9th place in the Burtmer, and he is just behind OGH Racing, whom is in, oh my lord, it's a spaceship. I'm not sure. It's something from Star Trek. What is that, sir? Is it a Corvette? I'm trying to see the badge. It's a Mazda. Oh, is it that fancy Mazda they gave you when you bought the game? Could be. MJ is in a Ford GT, and it's a homage. It's a Homer. It's a homage, ladies and gentlemen. He did send me something to say what it was. My livery is tribute to Ken Miles, 1966, 24-hour Daytona win. So there you go. Beeks has gone faster. He's 3rd fastest in the Renault at the moment. Sir Storm goes faster also. Not sure where he is. And Autosport as well, moving on up the order, as is OZ. So at Racing is still at the top. And Bob doing what Bob does fine. Thunder still 2nd. Beeks up to 3rd ahead of Tommy Roo's Audi. Then we have Deviant in the McShady 5th. Let's stick with this. Sir Storm up to 6th. Autosport in 7th. OZ in 8th at the moment. We didn't make it through the whole field, I know, but we usually miss people's laps, and this one was up on Deviant. He's only 1 second away from pole position, so we'll watch his lap, and then we can at least say that I did follow one person instead of flicking around like a lunatic. Half a second up. That definitely puts him ahead of Tommy Roo. Huds goes faster again, as does MJ. None of them breaking the top 5 at the moment. A. Cull goes faster. He breaks the top 8 in 8th place. Still nearly 6/10 now up for Deviant as he makes his way around. Jed goes faster in the Honda up to 4th place. And Tommy Roo's gone ahead of us. Tommy Roo must have posted a time. No, Tommy Roo is who we're chasing. No, Jed's moved up. So following, he's on the medium tyres. He wishes to start the race on the mediums. Remember, whatever they set their fastest lap time in qualifying on is what they start on the grid with. And it looks like Deviant trying to do a George Russell on a set of medium tyres here. Can he emulate such a thing? And he does beautifully, up to 3rd place for the McShady driver. So Bob at the top, but Thunder has knocked him off already, but he is on the soft tyres. Thunder goes up to second fastest as Autosport now goes third fastest, and Deviant then slips down to fourth. Beeks is into the pits for a new set of tyres and the last run possibly. Jed in his Honda is in sixth place ahead of Tommy Rue, who's seventh. Tommy Rue fighting the Audi around. He's also on those medium tyres. I should keep an eye on these tyres, shouldn't I? Bob's on the soft tyres at the moment in the BMW, and he is he's a bit stuck at the moment. This won't be helping his qualifying, being stuck by, I believe that is Storm. Be wanting, but then he could get a good tow. MJ goes faster. MJ breaks the top 8, ladies and gentlemen. So Bob at the top. Thunder is second fastest in the Porsche. We have Autosport in the Lexus in third. Deviant fourth in the McShady, with M. Beeks in the Renault in fifth. We've got Jed in the Honda in sixth place. We've got Rue in seventh for the Audi Corporation. MJ for Ford in 8th place ahead of Sir Storm, also in the Ford in 10th. Cull in the pits in the Nissan. Has he taken an old Nissan out? He's a crazy mofo. So it looks like, yeah, Cull's trying this season in a bit of 1980s machinery. Is it 80s? 90s, one or the other. So Cull then out in a very old piece of machinery. OZ is 11th in, I think he's in the McLaren, is he not? He's also going in for a set of tyres for his last run, as has Bob entered the pits as well to get their last set of tyres going. Hud's in 12th at the moment in the BMW, and OJH Racing is in 13th, and he is riding that spaceship. So Autosport, he's not opted for fresh tyres. He may run out of time. There's 5 minutes left of qualifying. Thunder going faster again, but remember the fuel is lightening. So yeah, the cars are getting lighter. The newer tyres for these guys could be the difference. It is getting darker though, the track getting cooler, may be quite difficult to get their tyres up to temperature in time. It's one to keep an eye on, but they're on their outlaps at the moment. Thunder on the move, half a second he's got to try and find. It's going to be tough. Jed comes in for a fresh set of tyres at the end of this run. I've got a feeling Autosport and Thunder may do the same thing. And then have a run right at the very end. So we're watching these guys, but it could possibly be their in lap. Bob's on his out lap at the moment. Deviant's on Deviant is on a run. He's got the medium tyres, so there's no need for him to make a pit stop. The tyres are still together, still as much grip as they'd had at the very beginning. So Deviant on a run, just running the fuel down a bit to try. Nothing going there. Very close though to his own time. Beeks as well. He's put a fresh set of softs on. Now this will be interesting. Lighter fuel, stickier tyres. Can the Renault do something rather special right now? And OJ goes faster. OJ does go faster. We'll check it out. And no, the Renault does not manage to get any faster in this lap. Can he do it in the next one? Bob has probably started his by now. His flying lap just started it. Autosport and Thunder did go in. I was right. I love it when I'm right. Beeks the Renault trying to go for it. Jed is on his out lap at the moment. Tommy Rue on a set of medium tyres going slightly faster. This could be a big leap for him. I don't think Beeks and Rue are rather very close in the times. So yes, and MJ very tight on times there, but MJ going in for a late tyre change. So Tommy Rue in the Audi. It's looking like he could make a big leap here. A humongous leap. As it gets dark, he could jump a couple of cars here. It's all about the hundredths of a tenth of a second now in this grid, ladies and gentlemen. And It's tight. Cool goes faster in his old machinery. And we will check out the grid when it comes to it. We're just watching Tommy Roo, though. See if he can make a shift into the top. Oh, he's picked up a penalty. What a shame for the Roo. He was on for a good, wow, 4 tenths nearly. Deviant does go faster. He moves up to 3rd place on those medium tyres. Not a bad day's work. But remember, Autosport and Thunder on new sets of tyres. Cool moved up to 5th, ladies and gentlemen. 5th place Cool managed in his old clapped out Nissan. Beeks in the Renault, and his fresh tyres still unable to beat his time from before. Unbelievable. The Jed now on his run with fresh tyres in the Honda and a lighter fuel tank. Can he edge it? Jose goes faster. And Jed then, no, he's a second down on his best time at the moment. And it doesn't look like there's anything there giving up for the Honda driver. Tommy Roo, we saw getting that penalty. He's on the medium tyres. And it looks like 8th place might be where he's starting. Is MJ going any faster? He's on an outlap. That's going to be tight for him to cut the line. Well, he's got a minute. Yeah, he's going to get the line. So, yeah, Tommy Roo. Is he going any faster this time around? He had to pay a big penalty. No, he's down on his own time. OJH into the pits with Sir Storm in 11th in his he's just starting a lap. We can stick with it. Cool goes faster again, up to 3rd now in the clapped out Nissan. Hoods goes faster. Hoods goes faster as well, up to 13th for Hoods. And Cool then, very close, Sir Storm, I mean, very close to his own time. He's got to find 900s to OJH, who has put it into the pit. Seems like he is happy with his lap time at the moment. Sir Storm trying to find just a 10th will do to get him ahead in 10th. At the moment he's 300ths down on his own time. That is how tight the times are. Tommy Roo has finally gone faster. They're all going faster now. Beek's going faster as well. And we're on board with Sir Storm. Well, watching Sir Storm is still there. He's not gaining, he's not losing. Is there anything? He's lost a position as well. MJ is who's gone ahead. Someone made a big jump then. I missed. And Sir Storm doesn't look like he's going to be going any faster this lap. We're sticking with him. Oh, he's lost even more now, half a second down. So Bob, he looks like he's going slow. It looks like he's finished now. Bob on pole, only by 700ths though. Autosport getting very close in the Lexus in 2nd. Deviant still on a run in 3rd. Can he change things? No, he's down. He's down. But Deviant then in 3rd. Cull on with a 1 second penalty, so he's not doing anything in 4th. Beeks went improved. He went up to 5th. Thunder didn't improve, it looks like. It's gone and dropped down to 6th place, down. OZ done an amazing job at the end there. Huge improvement up to 8th place in the McLaren. Then Tommy Roo in 9th place in the Audi. We've got Jed in 10th. He's still running, but he's down quite a bit on his own time. Jed there in 10th. Then we've got OJH coming out of the pits, but I think he's not on. Yeah, he's on an outlap, so he's not going to gain anything on that. He'll be starting 11th in the spaceship, and Sir Storm starting in 12th in the Fords, and Hoods 13th in the BMW. Ladies and gentlemen, that was some tight schnizzle. That was a tight qualifying session. Let's have a look then. So AT Racing starts with Autosport in 2nd, Deviant in 3rd, Cull starts in 4th, and it's still only half a second. Then we've got Beeks in 5th, we've got Thunder in 6th, MJ in 7th, and then the top 8 covered by a second with OZ in 8th place. 9th goes to Tommy Roo, Jed in 10th, OJH Racing in 11th, 12th to Sir Storm, and Hoods starting in 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, what a bonanza, eh? Oh, we're just changing the room settings, lady. I thought. Oh, they're having bathroom breaks. They're doing. Or maybe he's just resetting the times and stuff like that. So I think this isn't actually... could be the race? No. Oh, he's got to get people to tick in to sort the grid out. Okay, well, we can just have a look at Tommy Roo's Audi as he makes his way around. We can put all the shenang... Oh, no. I'm just having a sip of my brew. I suggest you do the same. This is a slight moment where we can have a time for reflection and chillaxation. So this stream was brought to you by washing up liquid, because it goes a long way. Keep your hands safe and soft, gentlemen. Use my special washing up liquid, my juice, thingy juice. Wash your pots longer with thingy juice. Thingy juice can also clean sides and walls. It's potent. Whenever you're thinking of a cleaned up job, think thingy juice. Thingy juice is what you need to clean your kitchens and bathrooms. Get Thingy Juice today, online. We've got Thingy Juice by the bucket load. Fill your bucket with Thingy Juice today. This stream was brought to you by Thingy Juice. Enjoy. So they're just stretching their legs, checking in all of the wheel nuts, making sure they're tight and to torque. They've got their PN and checkers out, and yeah, they're cranking up the bolts, ladies and gentlemen, and they're just getting themselves prepped and ready to go. And they're all giving the big thumbs up before we go racing. 60 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, at Daytona in the Group 3s, and you have seen how taut the field is. So we should have some very nice, tight racing ahead of us. The brew is done. Bring on the thingy juice. I can't remember their positions now. Deviant starting like third in here, something like that. Cool. No, Cool got third in the end, didn't he, in the Nissan? So it's, yeah. Excuse me, I shouldn't have belched on live. I don't know what I was thinking. I've just downed my brew, that's why. I've got another one if you want it. There you go. Right, Bob's at the top. Autosport second. Deviant third. Culp in fourth. Beaks is fifth. Thunder sixth. MJ seventh. OZ is in eighth. Tommy is in ninth. 10th for Jed. 11th for OJ. Sir Storm in 12th, and Hoods is in 13th. We are looking at the front of the pack as the lights count down. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing. 60 minutes timed of the Daytona race course, and Bob leads them away on a set of soft tyres. Autosport in the Lexus on mediums. That's great qualifying from Autosport if he did it on the mediums, and Deviant then on the mediums as well, going head to head with Autosport at the moment. I didn't notice him on the medium, so great lap time from Autosport, second on the grid with a set of medium tyres. Deviant though going up against him as the Cull drops in behind and thinks that's just too rich for me, and the Cull on the soft tyres at the moment. as they all get a little clogged up by the Lexus. The Lexus goes out wide. Deviant and Cull all go for a move. 3 wide coming out of the corner. The Cull comes out on top. It's very close between himself and the McShady, and the McShady looks like he had to give way to the Nissan, and that's give the Lexus the position there, and Deviant had the move done, and now he's being swallowed by Thunder, the Porsche coming into play, and Deviant losing out altogether there after trying to mount an attack. And then had to lift off because Cull was there, and it would have caused an accident, and he lost out altogether and down into 5th with Thunder having a run on him. Beeks in 6th in the Renault, and he's close to the Porsche, so Deviant back ahead of the Porsche, but the Porsche is on the soft tyres, and Beeks is having a very close look at his rear derriere, ladies and gentlemen. He's going for a move, and Tommy Roo getting a double draft behind is coming on strong, so Tommy Roo in the Audi also mixing it up. Bob at the top, Cull in 2nd, Autosport is in 3rd place, and Autosport now getting past the Cull with Tommy Roo trying to mix it up with the Renault, and the Renault is now ahead of the Porsche. The Porsche dropping down, and OJH Racing in the mix. What was that again? That was the spaceship, wasn't it? Where did that come from? OJH Racing then in there, flying, and M Beeks in 7th. Yeah, they've both been surpassed by the spaceship, and they're coming back now, and that's MJ just circling around behind. Hodds is up to 11th now, with Sir Storm slipping to 12th, and OZ from his very good qualifying has slipped right back to 13th. Bob at the moment 4-second lead on the Nissan. Then Thunder closing in. Thunder's tyres have come to life now. He's got himself past Autosport and Deviant. They're on the medium tyres. It's going to be tougher for them. They're getting a toe off of Thunder. There is the Lexus. And Thunder then losing the spot as the Lexus roars ahead. The Nissan in 2nd against a BOB at the front, and Bob is doing everything correctly. Thunder then in 4th, trying to get the toe back from Autosport, mixing it up with the medium runners so far. Tommy Roo in 6th, going up against OJH Racing in the Mazda. And there is MJ slipping one up the inside as well. And ooh, did MJ take a knock to the rear derriere from the Mazda there? It looks like he may have done, and I don't know how many positions they've lost there, as Tommy Roo now up and into 6th. Deviant still in 5th, following the Thunder and Autosport battle. Thunder goes back ahead of Autosport now. Deviant still watching from 5th place. Tommy Roo into 6th on his mediums in the Audi. Beeks is in 7th in the Renault. MJ is in 8th, and he now is ahead of OJH Racing, and the Jed are in the Honda in 10th place, following them around. On board with Jed as he tries to make a move on the Mazda. And again, the Mazda and the Ford looking very close in the racing, and Jed now gets the move done on the Mazda, and he's picking up the toe of the Ford ahead of him, and the Honda coming in very strong around here. Bob still leads from Cull, and Thunder is in 3rd in the Porsche at the moment, as we see Jed in the Honda try and get a toe, but no, the Mazda comes through, roaring in the toe, and now it's heavy braking for the chicane, and yes, Jed gets left behind a little there by MJ and OJH Racing. In 11th then Sir Storm in his Ford, following him 1.7 behind. He's on the racing soft tyres. Hoods in 12th on the racing soft tyres, also in the were, and OZ back in 13th. got good pace though, should be able to implicate himself back in the race again. Oh, and Hoods has dropped it like it is hot, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, maybe not. It hasn't shown. Oh yeah, it has. It's shown him going by. Sorry, duh. So Hoods has a problem in the first corner, and that first corner is an absolute bitter corner to try and get through. Bob then in the lead by nearly 6 seconds. Cool. Deviant's gone on the attack to Thunder now. Autosports dropped back from that battle, and now Deviant is in the mix with the Porsche. And it's a battle of the German manufacturers, ladies and gents, right now, right here, with Thunder and Deviant going head to head, and the McShady comes out above the Porsche, and the Porsche camp will not be happy about that at all, as the Porsche now getting a lovely tow. It's got the softer tyres, remember. He's got the grippier tyres on the Porsche. And Deviant up to third as they chase down the Cull in the Nissan ahead of him. 48.1 from the Nissan last time around. A 47.5 from Deviant, very fast. 47.4 from Thunder Autosport. A 49.2. Losing time on the guys ahead of him. He's out of the tow zone now. And Beeks and Tommy Rue working together, it seems, in the Audi and the Renault. And they are closing up to Thunder, not Thunder, Autosport may be in company soon. That's a stronger lap though from Autosport, that time around a 47.5, but it's not stopping Beeks and Tommy Rue closing in. And now this has turned into a three-way battle as Deviant finds his way up and into second place, and the Cull has dropped into the little battle for the podium here. And Cull slipping down into third with the Porsche behind him, the Nissan. The old clapped out banger of a Nissan is the ham in their sarnie, the cheese in their twist. The pig in their spit roast. Oh, the Nissan nearly losing itself there, and Deviant now hopping away from that little battle, but still Bob is 7.5 seconds to the better. And yes, Deviant is in medium tyres, but still 7.5 seconds over 5 laps is a ridiculous amount to build up. Deviant then in second place ahead of the Cull, and the Cull ahead of the Porsche. Autosport trying to cling on now. His lap time's dipped a little bit, but now he is on pace, and he's going faster still because he knows he has beef with Tommy Rue and the Beeks coming through, and they want his position. So Tommy Rue has got himself ahead of the Beeks at some point there, and the Porsche way off the line there. Has he got a penalty? Oh no, Thunder may have had a penalty there, and has dropped back to fifth, letting Thunder up and into fourth, and Thunder wanting to join not Thunder, sorry, Autosport. And oh my god, we've had a biggie. We have had a biggie, and it's involved Deviant, and it doesn't seem Cull maybe, but Cull's still going. He's with the Lexus, so let's have a quick Scooby-Doo. So Deviant, oh, they were inside each other. Lovely. And everything seems okay in the corner so far. Oh, and I think Deviant must have been going a little too slow for the Cull there, it seems, in that corner. And the Cull carrying on in second. Beeks is up to third now. Autosport slipping down into fourth because Beeks has got past him somewhere along the way. Deviant back in sixth. He's just slipped back from Tommy Rue, the Audi, going up and into fifth. Deviant then in sixth. MJ making his way in the world today is up to seventh, and looking for an attack on Deviant now sixth. Can he go for Tommy Roo? I don't think there's enough room between Roo and the wall, and he opts not to as they go through the chicane. And Deviant at the moment on a free fall, and Thunder with a lot of damage as well. Looks like he was involved in something or other, and I think they have full damage, so that's it. Deviant's got to carry that damage until his pit stop. Did Kull get damaged? It does look like Kull picked up some damage at the front there. Beaks now taking the Renault up and into second place. Kull goes in. He's got to fix that damage. So has Deviant, and so has the Thunder. So we've had a few to make their pit stops. Kull in, Deviant's in, and Thunder has come in. Hoods hasn't got any damage. Luckily, he may have made an earlier pit stop for any damage, and he might pick up those guys there. But Bob at the moment 12.7 seconds in the lead, over seven laps ahead of the Renault, who's only half a second ahead of the Lexus, as it turns out. Tommy Roo in the Audi fighting with MJ's Ford for fourth and fifth, and Jed then in the Honda up to sixth, with OJH Racing all up in his rear derriere. OJH Racing again getting very close and personal with the Honda, and doesn't understand personal space. And Jed though keeping it in the line, in the racing line, and not being harassed or harangued by the Mazda behind. And the Mazda all over the shop there, trying to find a way past the Honda, getting the tow, but when he seems to come out, and now this is it, he looks like he's got the move done on Jed. No, he's had to slip behind again. And Jed then dealing with a lot from the Mazda behind. It looks like he's pulled away a little bit from the Mazda picking up a penalty as well. So Jed then is there. MJ makes a move on the Roo, or stays out as the Roo comes in. The Roo's got damage as well. Unbelievable. Bob having a lovely clear race out there. Autosport gets himself ahead of the Renault of M. Beeks. M. Beeks though coming back at Autosport in the Lexi. MJ in fourth place, getting some good points on the go here if he can maintain. Jed then up to fifth in the Honda. Oz is in sixth. Ozzy, sixth place now so far, and OJH slipping down to seventh. He's dropped behind. Did he pit? No, he didn't. Who was he racing? He was racing Jed. So, he had that half a second penalty, and yeah, it's put the McLaren up ahead of him. So Ozzy doing a super job at the moment. OJH is in seventh in the spaceship, with Sir Storm in the Ford in eighth place so far. He's got damage, but he's continuing on with it. Kull back out then on a set of medium tyres. Not the strategy he wanted, but it's the strategy he has inherited, with Tommy Roo in 10th place, also making that unscheduled pit stop. Deviant needing to make a pit stop as well as Thunder making an unscheduled pit stop. And it looks like Hood's also again making another pit stop. So Hood's not having the best time of it at the moment at the back. Bob is having a great time of it at the moment at the front, and he's 15 seconds, shall we say, in the lead of this race. First set of tyres he's put on, everything is going to plan. The BMW group are so very pleased with what is happening out there at the moment. Autosport in the Lexus is being chased by the Renault and MJ's Ford, and Autosport then with a lot to deal with behind him. There is a lot going on. MJ, let's get on board with MJ for a bit as he chases these guys down. He's 6.8 seconds ahead of the Jed, the Honda driver, but he doesn't want to get get caught up in this race too much. He doesn't want to get stuck behind these guys. Oh, it looks like this one was an hour and a half. I thought it was only an hour. I've just looked up and seen there's an hour and 14 minutes left. I thought, oh, they've started with an hour and a half race. Thought we were going to ease in gently with 60-minute race. I said 60 minutes at the beginning. I didn't know this was a Triple Crown one. So it's an hour and a half. Oh, that's right. We'll do a couple of sitting on boards as there you go. MJ makes the move there. And MJ then up into third. He is on the soft tyres, and what's Beeks on? Is he on the... Oh, he's on softs as well, so that was a solid move from MJ at the moment. But he's giving the toe now back to the Renault driver. And Jed then in fifth in the Honda. OJH 5 seconds adrift now in sixth. We got Oz 2.2 seconds adrift of... Oh, he's gone back behind OJH in seventh. Tommy Roo 17 seconds adrift of those, but we've got the Cull chasing him down. Let's get on board with the Cull then. So, sorry, my mic was muted. So the Cull, he was chasing Tommy Roo, wasn't he? Oh, he's got Deviant all up and about his business, and Deviant looks like he's got through there. So Deviant on the soft tyres up ahead of the Cull. So let's have a look at the order then. After 20 minutes, Bob, he's about halfway through his tyres. He's nearly used his whole tank up. That's a lot of pit stops happening then in 12 laps. And he's got to make a pit stop, but he's 16 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor, who is Autosport at the moment. His tyres looking very tidy. And he's 4 seconds ahead of MJ, whom is in third. Tyres looking okay, better than, well, a little bit better than Bob's, but his fuel is looking just a little bit better than Bob's, but there is going to be pit stops very shortly. The Renault is doing superb on fuel. Oh, the Renault could stir things up later in this race, ladies and gentlemen, with Bob and MJ looking like they're really close to pit stops. The Lexus not so great, and the Renault is doing amazingly on fuel. So that is one to watch in the future of this race. Jed, 6 seconds back from the Beaks. He's low on fuel as well, really, and his tyres are getting used. So at the moment, the Renault is looking very strong here. OJH is up to 6th. His fuel isn't so great as well, and Aussie is up and in his Heine, and again the McLaren looking very good on fuel. The McLaren and oh no, Aussie put a wheel wrong on the dirt, and now he is mowing the lawn. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the most expensive lawnmower equipment you've seen in your life. I present to you the McLaren Grass Cutter 3000. Tommy Roo then in 8th place. He can try and cut some of that deficit. I think Tommy Roo, he had to make that. Did he have to make a pit stop as well? Did he have damage? I think he did. So Tommy Roo had to fall back in this race. He's trying to catch up, as is Deviant, with that early unscheduled pit stop. Cull in the old clapped out Nissan in 10th. We've got Thunder, who also had to make a pit stop, is in 11th. Hoods is in 12th, who I think's made a couple of pit stops, and Sir Storm must have recently made a pit stop, on lap 9, and he's got damage again as Sir Storm. So Bob comes in virtually out of fuel. Autosport is flashing, and so is MJ. Beaks though, quarter of a tank still, lads. That's a deficit, some would say. Autosport he's out already, and he didn't put no fuel in. Did he do? Oh, is he still coming into the pits? Oh no, Autosport stayed out. Sorry, so did the Beaks. So Autosport with enough fuel, he thinks, to get around again. Let's hope he's correct. The rest of the field, except for Aussie at the moment, are making their pit stops. Aussie, though, making his way up and into 3rd place in the McLaren on his original tank. This is looking very good. Bob, though, comes out in 3rd spot. Medium tyres, full fuel. 12 seconds behind Beaks, who's still got a quarter of a tank of fuel, and Autosport, whom will be pitting pretty soon. So the Beaks there looking very good, as is Aussie in the McLaren. They have made some good choices, it seems, with the endurance racing. Tommy Roo, he's made a pit stop. Well, he made a pit stop back in lap 7, and it's done well for him. It's put him up into 5th. Deviant as well with the earlier stop. Cull, MJ has recently pitted. He's ended up behind the Cull and Deviant here, with Thunder just behind him. Thunder bedded in a nice set of tyres, and we'll be looking to close up on the Ford anytime soon. Jed as well, after his pit stop, is out in 10th place ahead of OJH Racing, who's made his pit stop. Hoods is in 12th ahead of Sir Storm. Now Autosport does go in. He did barely just enough fuel to make it round, and the Beaks still continuing on. The Dutchman driving very economically in the Renault. And Outracing then should overtake the Sport and move into second place, but he must be slightly concerned about the Renault that's 11 seconds ahead of him currently, and doesn't look set to make a pit stop for a good while yet, and that is a net 2 pit stopper, whereas at least Bob's going to have to make 3 stops in this race, unless he does some very, very crafty and interesting fuel saving from now on in. Oliver as well. Ooh, although Ozzy, sorry, he's down. He's flashing now. The McLaren not as good as the Renault. Tommy Roux up to 4th at the moment. Things are going well in the Audi camp. Deviant in the McShady. These guys, remember, having to make unscheduled stops earlier in the race through damage, as well as colours and all. And Autosport comes out behind the call. Now that's quite a chasm, isn't it? That's a surprise. The difference where Bob come out in second place, and Autosport has come out bang in the middle of all the traffic, and it's not exactly where he needs to be if he wants to launch the attack to Bob at this point. MJ just behind, 3.2 seconds behind the Autosport, with Thunder very close indeed on a medium set of tyres. MJ softs should bed in pretty soon, warm up and give him the grip that he needs to try and get away from the Porsche. But remember, the Porsche carrying half the weight of the Ford, and that is what half the weight looks like on track. Absolutely closing in on the GT there, and overtakes easily MJ down into 9th place, but he is fat with fuel, ladies and gents. Thunder down to half a tank. So MJ, he should just lift and coast, I imagine, is his best bet. Try and keep that fuel in for as long as he can and sit in the toe of the Porsche, and just cling on to the rear derriere of the Thunder before the Thunder runs out of fuel. Jed then, Aussie into the pits. Aussie into the pits then for some fuel, and OJH not yet passed. Now he's passed. OJH moves up and into 10th place, and he's in the Mazda, squealing for all its might. And no, OJH does not get ahead of the McLaren. The McLaren back out. Aussie doing a superb job there with his pit stop, medium tyres, full tank, and away you go, sir. The world's most expensive lawnmower still chugging on. Oh, the Renault now is flashing. The fuel is used. The tyres are used. And Mbeeks, the Flying Dutchman, has taken it for as long and as late as he possibly could in this race. What a superb run from Beeks there. So Bob will retake the lead quite healthily, but he's only 10 seconds. He was like nearly 10 seconds I suppose was about the lead, and it looks like Tommy Roux is going to take over in second place. Will he though? Because he's 19 seconds behind the Beeks. The Beeks may get out. No, I don't think he's going to get out ahead of these guys. So Tommy Roux then moving on up and into second place. Deviant will be next up and into third, with Autosport moving up into fourth. The Cull in fifth, as Beeks still sits being serviced. Thunder then into sixth, with MJ up and into seventh. But the Renault, I believe, could be a danger later with those fuel tanks. I just don't think he's only going to have to make the 2 stops, where some of these other guys are going to have to make a 3-stop strategy. They're going to have to take a stop more than the Renault. And the Renault then joins the track in 8th place ahead of the Honda and the Mazda. The Mazda under threat from... Oh, the Mazda's got himself past the McLaren. Now the Mazda is on a bedded in set of tyres, and they are soft, So the Mazda does easily get by the McLaren, but the McLaren is doing long runs today, ladies and gents. Oh my God, has the stream stopped? Or my iPad just keep playing up? No, it's just the iPad keeps freezing up. Sorry guys. If it's a bit choppy, there's nothing I can do, it's the internet. So yeah, Oliver again, he's got to do pretty much like what MJ's got to do up the grid a little bit, is just sit in the draft, the toe of the Mazda, and try and save as much fuel as possible for later in the race, because it looks like there's a couple out there may only be doing a 2-stop strategy, and that's going to be dangerous against the 3-stop strategy. It's quite a long time in the pits here, and these guys who are doing 3s, he has dropped the toe of Thunder now, though, has MJ. Thunder is on an absolute trek. He's got a half a second penalty, though. That's not going to help him. Cull in 5th, and he is in the toe of Autosport, so hopefully Cull using that to his advantage, but he's already down to a quarter of a tank of fuel. Deviant as well, down to a quarter of a tank of fuel. Tommy Rue just over a quarter of a tank of fuel. Bob already under a quarter of a tank of fuel. The fuel is getting munched, ladies and gents. MJ there in 7th, he's on 3/4 of a tank, beats full whack fuel, 3.8 seconds behind MJ. Jed also 3/4 of a tank of fuel. OJ is donning a 3/4 of a tank of fuel, and Aussie at the moment really wanted to close in, and the Mazda's wide, and Aussie through. Aussie back up and into 10th spot as the Mazda goes wide. OJH going slightly wide there. We got the Hoods in 12th, and then we've got Sir Storm in 13th at the moment, but it's subject to change. So Bob leads by 10 seconds. Tommy Rue, Deviant, all on a different strategy at the moment with fuel. So Autosport should take over second place in the race. He's putting a lap on Sir Storm at the moment. Or just using Sir Storm for a lovely tow. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help. As Autosport makes his way through, only 2 seconds behind Deviant, but again, Deviant and Tommy Rue on different strategies at the moment. Tommy Rue could go a little further in this race than Deviant, but Deviant is he is getting through his tank, should we say. Autosport then set to take over second place with the Cull up there in 5th, not doing too bad, but his fuel also starting to deplete. So MJ should move up and into 3rd place in the next round of pit stops, with Thunder really all over the back of him, but Thunder also will be making a pit stop when the guys ahead do. So that'll take the pressure off, and MJ's done well to catch up with the Thunder, because Thunder was ahead, wasn't he? So MJ, somewhere along the way, has gained and caught the Porsche. And now the Porsche all up and in their rear derriere. Although Thunder, again, the same, he could try and elongate a lap or two, just sitting behind MJ and using that tow to save a bit of fuel. The Beaks in the Renault, the danger man. At the moment, I guess he's not planning on making another pit stop until at least 20 minutes to the end of the race. Can he get that fuel to go that far? He's on the medium tyres this time, so the car will be slightly naturally slower and a little bit more lift into the brake and coast through the corner. He could wangle a few more laps out of that. He nearly got 30 minutes out of the tank with his first stint, the last to pit. So the Renault, it's interesting to see what it can do. Jed in the Honda, he's down to half a tank. Those medium tyres barely touched. I imagine this next stop they won't bother changing the tyres, they'll just top it up. Those on medium tyres, why would they change? If they've used both compounds, softs and mediums, then I imagine just go in, fill up, get back out again. Because Bob at the moment barely touched his tyres halfway through his tank. The soft tyres are looking rather used on the Audi at the moment, running in second, a quarter of a tank of fuel. Autosport in the Lexus on a set of soft tyres, trying to gain on Tommy Rue, and he's being caught as well by Deviant behind. Deviant, though, is on vapours. He's going to be pitting at the end of this or the next lap. The Cull also getting set for a pit stop. So MJ looking to move up the order pretty soon, as Thunder as well. Although Thunder is not flashing just yet, so maybe he's being helped a little bit by the MJ. He's dropped out the 8/10 now. They say it's about 8/10 got to be for the toe. So let's have a look. Tommy Rue goes through. Deviant doesn't split away, so he can't get another lap out of that, surely. Are we at the wrong... Oh, we're at the wrong end of the track, that's why. We're at the wrong part of the oval, ladies and gents, before they can make a pit stop. That's why I use sat-nav to drive everywhere, because my navigational skills suck. So now then, we should see this time Deviant split to the left, to the left, to the left. Step it up, it's all right. Cull's in as well. So MJ moving on up through the order behind Autosport. Some 7 seconds though from the Sport, who is absolutely slinging it now in the Lexus, doing 46.7s. Tommy Rue in the Audi. It's getting to the end of his tyre life. Bit of fuel though. And Bob is looking absolutely splendid in his BMW. Still 9-second lead on the Rue. And Autosport there. It's a further, another 18 seconds. Well, I can see it right next to it in red. 18 seconds behind the lead. MJ, 8 seconds to find to catch up into the podium battle with Thunder there. He's going to pit at the end of this one. I'm sure he's going to peel off to the pits. Beeks will then move on up with 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So, yeah, he's getting through his fuel. It's not like he's... It is still, but if he can, he can still do one stop less than a lot of the guys out there. Jed then is up to 7th now, with Aussie in 8th. Deviants coming out in 9th ahead of the Cull, and these two are having a splendid battle down here on boards, with the Cull as he chases down the McShady. We're in the banged up old Nissan. And Cull challenging himself in the GT Challenge 3, ladies and gentlemen, with a very tough car. It was going to be hard to drive throughout the season, and as you can see, he has qualified it quite high, but in the races, it's not got the va-va-voom that he needs. Tommy Rue's made his pit stop now, and Autosport's moved up and into 2nd place. And MJ then moving up into 3rd. MJ, is this a chance of a podium? The beginning of something beautiful for MJ here. Could it be? Could it be, ladies and gents? So Cull half a second behind Deviant. And it doesn't look like... I was watching his accelerator there. He's not lifting. He's not lifting in any way. He might have his engine turned down 1. You don't know. You don't never know. You do not never know. I want to see how many negatives I can do, because they say you shouldn't do double negatives. And when you say I don't know, you can make it. You could put about 3 double. You could put about 3 or 4 negatives in there. You don't not never know. You don't not never ever know. So I am trying to be so annoying with my grammar that I put so many negatives in one sentence. You don't never not know. You do not never know. We'll find out. Someone had an off. Sorry, Aussie. I think I saw him out of the corner of my eye having a slight offage, unfortunately. And the Cull and Deviant then must have moved up a position there, because I'm sure I saw Oliver having another mow of the lawn. He saw a little bit of Daytona that still wasn't mowed. And I tell you, the grass grows quick in Florida, man. OJH in the Mazda in 11th at the moment. He's 34 seconds disconnected from the Thunder, but he's got a minute on the hoods. And Sir Storm only 2/10 behind the hoods. He's coming through. And it looks like that's MJ in third. And it didn't load. We've suddenly lost MJ's livery, have we? Oh no, his car looked like the old, the original livery from the front. So MJ then coming across some lap cars. He was flashing them. He's like, get out my way, but they're battling, my friend. They're battling for position, and he comes through on the inside. And OMG, ladies and gentlemen, MJ having to absolutely dice it through the lapped cars. So Bob out there in the lead, 18 seconds on Autosport right now, who's got 10 seconds on MJ. Beeks there in fourth. Fat on fuel, ladies and gentlemen. Fat on fuel. Well, he's got about the same as, no, he's got more than Autosport. So the Renault is still doing an amazing job out there. Jed, though, is closing in. 48.9 last time round from Jed, and Beeks did a 49.6. So, yeah, nearly over half a second faster for the Honda driver at the moment. Tommy Rue in sixth. He's recently pitted, remember. He's come out in sixth. That's very good. Ahead of Deviant and the Cull. And they would have been trying to latch on to Tommy Rue. They were around his area, and now they find themselves 10 seconds down from him as the Cull goes for a move. Deviant had a squirrel on as he tried to get to the accelerator, and the Cull comes through in his battered old Nissan and moves up and into 7th place ahead of Deviant. Deviant, though, right on his spoiler, very much wanting that position back, I'm sure, as they come through the chicane. Lap 23 so far of Daytona, and it has been some cracking racing up and down the field. Thunder at the moment losing 9 seconds. He was racing these guys. We know he was racing MJ when MJ comes out of the pits. MJ at the moment, he's on a quarter of a tank of fuel, and he's chasing down Autosport, but he's lost a good couple of seconds. He was 10 seconds behind Autosport, and he's lost a good couple of seconds trying to get past those back markers. Bob at the moment, 18-second lead out there. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. I don't think he's too concerned about making an extra pit stop, even on the Renault, who's currently in 4th place, 11 seconds behind MJ, but 42 seconds, which is about a pit stop behind Bob. So Bob is okay with what he's got going on at the moment, I am sure. So we saw this Deviant battle and Cull. Nothing betwixt them. On board with the Cull at the moment as he chases down the Mercedes-Benz of Deviant. They've got Tommy Rue quite a way up the road ahead of them, and they've got a lot of ground to cover to catch him up. And Cull then in the tow. I think these two are just having fun, swapping places. I suppose with the earlier accident that they both had, there's not really much race on for them up ahead, so they're just playing with each other. It's nice. It's nice to see. So Deviant then in 8th and Cull in 7th. These two just having a bit of fun. In 7th and 8th, they're 11 seconds behind Tommy Rue now, whom has caught up Jed. Jed, is he fuel saving? He slipped back doing the 48s, whilst Tommy Rue is in 47.5 that last time around as they go through the first corner, and Tommy Rue still unable to make the pass. It looked like he got his nose ahead of him at least twice in that corner, and again around the outside he's trying the long way round, the switcheroo now to try and go up the inside, and Tommy Rue trying a switcheroo, but Jed there making it very difficult for him now. Jed's on the inside, but it'll put Tommy Rue on the inside for this next corner if he can slow the car down. He does. He gets the Audi down to speed, and his tyres are still fresh, bruv, isn't they? Yeah. you know, is racing softs. They're still tight. And Tommy Roo then makes the move on Jed, who's on a set of mediums and a quarter of a tank of fuel. But he had a real can-do attitude as they went into that fight. Beeks then ahead of that, 3.5 seconds. Tommy Roo could at this pace catch up Beeks, because it really does look like Beeks now has gone into a mega fuel save. 49 and a halves throughout virtually. MJ at the moment is running 48 and a halves, a second faster than the Beeks. If Beeks is not careful, then the guys ahead of him are going to pull out that pit stop, and Tommy Roo is going to close in. This is fascinating, as Spock would say. Jed then is in 6th. He's picked himself up a naughty boy half a second penalty, and the Cull, that's not, I mean, it's not going to help too much, but it's going to help a little bit. The Cull and Deviant again swapping places. Thunder trying to catch them up. I tell you what, Thunder was 10 seconds behind them, and he's got it back to 6 seconds, 47.2. It's gone faster than he's gone before in the race. Deviant 48.8, Cull doing a 47.7 last time around. So, oh no, sorry, a 47.8 for Deviant. But Thunder 47.2, that was a 47.7. Oh, that's why, because they have raised the pace. They must see that Thunder is starting to close in. And it does look like Deviant and Cull have raised the pace. They must have been trying to do a bit of fuel saving. I think the Renault has got them all a little concerned out there. Tommy Roo is closing in, and I think some of them are doing a bit of fuel saving there just to try and cover off the Renault. MJ down to nearly, look, and that's not even going to be enough to get to the end as well. I mean, even in the next pit stop, it won't be enough to get to the end. He's going to have to make another pit stop on top of the pit stop he's just about to make. Bob is coming in. Bob is going to come in, and he still will need another pit stop before the end of the race. Autosport down to less than quarter of a tank. MJ is half a quarter of a tank. An eighth. A quarter. An eighth. Maybe. An eighth of a tank. And the Renault, though, picking up a penalty as Tommy Roo does close in on his Audi, and Tommy Roo is fat with fuel as well. Tommy Roo might be in a strong position here. I'm unable to tell. He's having a very good race at the moment. The Audi Red Dragon is really laying down some law out there as he goes past the Renault rather easily. MJ then up and into second as Bob comes out behind him. Bob on a set of soft tyres, a full tank of fuel, and the energy to race all over again. MJ's fuel is flashing. Autosport's is not. Autosport 15 seconds to the good of the MJ. At Racing getting logged up behind the back marker of Sir Storm, but makes short work. No, not short work. Sir Storm still there, but now it looks like Bob has got himself through and is on his way, chasing down MJ, who for position, ladies and gents, for position, less than a second away. Tommy Roo then in 4th and has already pulled out 2 seconds on the Beeks, and I am concerned that the Beeks is over fuel saving now. He really is doing a lot. Jed is going to be in the pits soon, so Autosport stays out in the lead. MJ, I say stays out, I've got myself mixed up with the wrong side of the track again, ladies and gents, I'll admit it. I'm dumb. What a day. So MJ then, half a second penalty and a pit stop pending, with Bob just breathing down his neck, and Tommy Roo is in the periphery. Beeks is doing mega fuel saving and penalties. I think he's using the penalties as a fuel save. And MJ then into the pits. Bob back up into second, and he's still struggling with the back marker of Sir Storm. And now he's cleared that back marker and he's back along his way. Tommy Roo moves up and into third as MJ gets his car serviced, and the Renault is up and into 4th place. Jed's into the pits as Deviant and Cull make their way through. Deviant ahead of the Cull by a second, ladies and gentlemen. Cull then maybe fuel saving. They've got similar fuel, similar tyres. This is, strategically speaking, this race is intense. And there we go. Thunder then into 7th. And MJ yet to make an appearance back on track. And there we go. MJ released and back on track. Set of mediums, full tank of fuel, and some very big dreams if he thinks that's going to get him to the end of the race. I don't believe it will, unless he does some absolute huge coasting and lifting. Jed then out on a set of softs and a full tank of fuel. OJH Racing, the Mazda, half a tank of fuel in 11th, 40, less than 39 minutes of racing left on the clock. He's 26 seconds behind the Jed after the Jed's pit stop now. Autosport into the pits, and that should put Bob back into the lead. And Tommy Rue very close indeed, I think, to Autosport. Maybe even the Beaks. I think them two might go ahead of Autosport here. And Autosport, he might start being concerned about his podium here. He might think Tommy Rue and the Beaks have got a shout on it, because Autosport as well will have to make another pit stop before the end of the race. Tommy Rue then in the Audi, half a tank of fuel, which obviously is not going to get him all the way to the end. But it's equal now. They've all got one stop left. Bob will have one stop left. Tommy Rue, one stop left. And Beaks, one stop left. Autosport, possibly another stop to go. Deviant, possibly one stop. I don't know. No, who knows? Who knows? This is it. It's the good unknown, the great unknown. Thunder, half a tank of fuel in 7th place. MJ with a full tank, but I don't think that can get him all the way. I honestly don't. I think he's going to have to make another stop as well before the end. Aussie, the tank is good on the McLaren, and yeah, if he can get to half an hour, I think he'll be good just for one more stop. Jed, he's picked up a little penalty, either coming in or out. Not the 3-second one, but a penalty nonetheless. The Mazda in 11th for OJH Racing, ahead of Sir Storm by a minute, and Hoods is behind them by 48 seconds. So where's the closest race? It's got to be Deviant and Cull, isn't it? Autosport then, chasing the Renault of M. Beaks. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're going through Autosport's mind here. It looked like a slam dunk second place in the Lexus. Now the Renault's gone in very early. That will be a short stop. Now that's not going to be enough to get to the end. What is he doing? Why has he done that? That's crazy. Unless he's going to put softs on and go for 2 stop. No, don't do that. Right, well, with a quarter of a tank of fuel, Beaks has taken the Renault into the pits. And now I'm not sure. Maybe that's enough. Maybe he can get 36 minutes out of a full tank. Oh, God, heaven help us now. So, yeah. I mean, he stopped at the dead-on half hour. He's giving it a little... I think I would have stayed out another 5 minutes just to make sure. But he's put some softs on as the Renault driver. He's filled up and he's back out on track. And I got to hope that it can make the distance. Bob, I said he's not going to make the distance. He's already down to 3/4 of a tank. So he's, yeah, I still think he's going to have to make another stop. Tommy Rue, half a tank. And he's definitely going to have to make another stop here. Autosport, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about these strategies, because now I'm starting to concern myself that I've made the wrong calls. But I don't think none of them can go half an hour. unless they start doing some hefty fuel saving, which is what they may do. You never know. You don't never know. You don't never not know. You don't ever not never know. So Autosport then in third place, and the fuel tanks, I've never been so intrigued about cars' fuel tanks before. Deviant and Cull, who I said definitely are going to pit, they're still going. They're still going, ladies and gents. In fourth and fifth after that early accident. We've driven through the night now. The dawn is upon us, ladies and gents. Heaven forgive us now for wasting the dawn. I wish I remembered what Jim Morrison said at the beginning of that song now. It was so cool. Nothing will forgive us now for wasting the dawn. Anyway, Bob leads this race by 12 seconds. Tommy Roux is in second place, and I have no clue. Tommy Roux is going to have to make a pit stop by the end. Autosport, I said, would. I still think he will. Deviant, Beeks has really thrown me off with that early stop. I thought he was going to drive up until 30 minutes to go and then make his stop, but coming in and filling up and making it more difficult to get to the end of the race has really blown me sideways. And now he's under threat from the Honda of Jed giving it big willies behind him to try and get through. And MJ 16 seconds down the road. Everything is up and in the air, ladies and gents. Thunder ahead of MJ currently. And Jed harassing and haranguing the Renault of Beeks. But Beeks at the moment standing fast in his Renault. Aussie in 11th at the moment. Great hopes for him. I think there's going to be people around him pitting. I think he might end up in some good points positions from where he is at the moment. Sir Storm is in front of the other Ford. MJ obviously is not going to be very pleased. Where is MJ? 7th. MJ again. Well, he might be using Sir Storm for a good tow and fuel save gauge. He might be using the back marker there. He's only 0.6 down on his fastest time, so he's not exactly losing a lot of time behind the other Ford. So yeah, he might be using that Ford to try and fuel save a little bit. And just eke his car later into the race. Like I said, we've still got 31 minutes on the clock, and the best we saw get out of a tank was 30 minutes, which was the Renault. And so yeah, I'd be very surprised if some of these cars that stopped with 40 odd minutes left on the clock are going to make it to the end. And so I'm expecting to see another flurry of pit stops. And hopefully Renault is not one of them. But with that earlier stop that I was expecting from Senor Beeks, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to get to the very end, which I thought he would. I thought, in my mind, I thought he was going to get himself a cheeky little podium with that fuel strategy. And now I'm not 100% sure. I think he may have to make another stop. He's 18 seconds behind MJ at the moment. He's put the soft tyres on. Maybe he hadn't used the second set, but still, he could have gone. He could have gone. This is when he should have been pitting. 30 minutes to go. I would have felt a lot more comfortable with that. Trust, bruv. So MJ, 49.0 that last time around. He's definitely going slower than he's able to, which leads me to believe he could be doing a little bit of fuel saving. I think they're all having a little dabble in the fuel management system at the moment. Bob, because Bob knows he can make a pit stop and still come out in the lead. No, not at the moment, but Tommy Roo is also, he's going to be making a pit stop in the next few laps. 10 seconds ahead of Autosport. Autosport at the moment, his fuel's looking okay, but I don't think it'll go all the way to the end. Deviant and the Cull's dropped back a lot from Deviant over the last few laps. He's been doing regular 48s in the clapped out Nissan, with Deviant in his brand new shiny Mercedes. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all have Porsches, I must make amends. It's Deviant's song. Should have said Thunder's got Porsches. Did you like my singing, little putty cat? Is that why you came over to meow at me? Yes, it's on par with cat singing. They love it. Hey Sicky, use a pity. So at the moment then, Deviant, he's gonna be in the fuel tank pretty soon. I'm busy. Go away. There's not time for fussy lovey. So Deviant, I'm pretty sure he's gonna bear left at the end of this lap. He's got the Cull chasing him down, 6 seconds adrift of him, and I think the Cull is pretty much on the same strategy. So was Tommy Roo, but Tommy Roo has turned it around in that Audi. That Audi's got an impressive fuel tank also, it would seem. And so Tommy Roo, really, he was down there with Deviant and the Cull. But at the moment, it looks like Tommy Roo might give Autosport a run for that second place, which makes this rather exciting. And who knows where the Renault is going to end up. I'm obsessed with the Renault. So Deviant, I expect to bear left, and he does. Look at that. I'm not right 100% of the time, but the time I'm right, I'm 100% hard. So Bob out there in the lead, 14-15 seconds. Tommy Roo in second place. His fuel's starting to look low as well. Deviant in, Cull in. Autosport, half a tank of fuel, still cracking on. He's 18 seconds to the good of the Thunder. Thunder, though, will be making an appearance in a pit stop near you pretty soon as MJ goes through with half a tank of fuel. The Cull and Deviant getting serviced as Beeks is under pressure still from the Jed, but the Jed is going to have to make a pit stop pretty soon after that jumped because of the pits. Oh no, half tank is the same. Deviant on his way out. Can the Renault clear Deviant? No, it doesn't look like the Renault can clear Deviant. Now Deviant, the race. Oh, what have you done? What have you done, Beeks? You pitted too early, you son of a gun. And now Deviant then out of the pits ahead, and the Renault is going to have to go and race the McShady with Jed all up in their business. But Jed doesn't have the distance in his fuel tank at the moment, and neither does MJ, nor does the Thunder. The Thunder is going to have to come in. That's going to put him behind. Whoa, who knows? Aussie maybe, even back behind the Oz Meister himself. And we'll have to wait and see when Thunder comes into the pit stops. So Bob out there in the lead at the moment. Nothing can stop him now, ladies and gents. He is flying high. Tommy Roo in second. He's on the verge of a pit stop, which will please Autosport. But Autosport will have to pit before the end of this race also, which will put him in a bit of a tangle with the Tommy Roo. MJ as well. He's just going to eat this fuel out. I suppose it's less time in the pits for some of these guys. They just won't have to fill the tank right up. So I suppose the longer they can stay out, the less fuel they have to take on for the last stint. Deviant then, he's filled. Jed is on half a tank and he's making the move on the Renault right now. And the Renault, I don't think, well, I don't want to say, but I'm really concerned. I thought the Renault was in with a very big shout now. What's happened here? MJ, Deviant, looked like something had moved. Jed has moved ahead of the Renault. And it's just them two keep moving. I wanted to go back to look at Cull, but Jed and Beeks having an absolute banger of a race here between the two of them, swapping positions each corner. And now Jed goes back ahead of the Beeks as Tommy Roo goes into the pits. Now, where is Tommy Roo going to come out of the pit stops? Ladies and gents, it's going to be around Deviant. He got ahead of Deviant and Cull last time. And Cull, there's been 2 cars between Cull and Deviant since their pit stops. So it is interesting to see Cull down there in 8th, 1.7 seconds behind the Renault, and Jed there in the Honda in 6th place ahead, and Deviant then just ahead as MJ goes by? Yes, MJ goes by Tommy Roo in the pits. MJ yet to visit the pits though before the end of this race. And Deviant, I don't think, no, Tommy Roo's going to definitely be out before the Deviant. So if we get on, and Thunder's made his pit stop as well, and he's come out 8-9 seconds behind the Cull. So I think we're going to get on board with the Beeks whilst he battles with the Jed here. Oh, did we need Tommy Roo come out of the pits yet? Well, Tommy Roo, he's come out ahead of Deviant. If anything, he must have done. Okay, on board with the Renault for a second or two. Enjoy. Vodka Rob in the chat saying good evening, sir. Well, hello, Vodka Rob. You've missed it all, my friend. We've been racing for an hour and 10 minutes. Don't worry, I'm not judging you. Don't think, oh my God, you've missed it. I'm just saying, you've come right at the right time. We've just got to the end, so we're just about to have a little run through and have a little look. 20 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, here at Daytona for the first round of the World Racing Community's GT Challenge 3. and Bob at the moment in the Burtma were getting himself ready for a pit stop. His final pit stop of the day. He's got 26 seconds on Autosport. Autosport looks like he's trying to wring out the fuel tank on that Lexus, but he just can't. He's not going to be able to do that. He's got 26 seconds on MJ, but MJ also, I think, may have to visit the pits before the end of this race. Tommy Roux, who is right up the chuff of MJ at the moment, has made his final pit stop. He is going to the end there, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the Bob, but it's certainly second place is looking very strong. Well, yeah, second place. I'm going to give it a shout. I think Tommy Roux might be able to grab second here. He goes past MJ. MJ on a sloppy old set of well, the mediums are still together. And Autosport then. Autosport's trying to wring out that Lexus's fuel tank. Deviant, who was off to a great start, then not a great start after coming together with Cull and having to make an earlier pit stop than planned, as up to 5th at the moment, has had a great job in the McShadies. So Bob comes in for his final stop now. Will Autosport copy or will he stay out? He's on the soft tyres, but they are an old set of soft tyres. If you're going to pit, you may as well come in and change tyres and go fresh and spend less time in the pits. But no, he's continuing on. He feels those tyres are good to go, baby. What is it? Hot to go. HOTTOGO. So Tommy Roux then is picked up himself a bit of a penalty there as he's chasing down second place in this race. MJ yet to pit is following the Rooster, and then we've got 5th for Deviant. Jed in 6th after a tough battle with the Beaks, and the Beaks' fuel is looking good. Cull though closing in on Renault. And Cull, he's either using him as a tow or he's going in for the kill. Vodka Rob saying, I know I've had to get some practice in for tomorrow night. I've been busy this week, so I haven't got many laps in. No, fair dues. And Vodka Rob saying, it might be my last race in the URL. No way, man. Vodka Rob saying, although the break is coming just at the right time, if I do carry on, I may have to miss the first few rounds. Oh, schnizzle, my nizzle. I hope everything's okay. So Autosport then leads this race by 6 seconds, getting set to make a pit stop. Bob, it's not like last race. You should say just last race for a bit, for a short while, whilst I have my penis enlargement done or something, penis pump, whatever it is you're going to have, your ball enlargement. So Autosport at the moment out there in the lead, 6.5 seconds, but the fuel tank is not adding up to the end of the race. The Bob has done nothing wrong today. He has had an excellent race, and it is looking like the spoils are his to take. Tommy Roux, he's had to dig deep in this race. At the moment, he's racing for second place, it seems, against Autosport. He's got to hope that Autosport comes out of the pits behind him, and Autosport was going to be on a nice fresh set of tyres and with a very can-do attitude, I can tell you. Vodprop saying, yeah, I'm just getting the house ready for new central heating and solar panels. Thank God, man. I thought it was going to be something to do with your health, and I was like concerned, and I didn't want it to get too heavy in the chat. Although central heating, that is heavy, man. We've still got storage heaters. We're from the 60s. They're fine. They warm the bricks up. The bricks stay warm. That's why houses are made of bricks. They're lying to you with your central heating Tango. Just need storage heaters. They warm the bricks up overnight and the bricks stay warm during the day. Trust, bruv. TDR then out there in the lead at the moment, but it does look like it is only a borrow from Bob, because when Autosport has to make his pit stop, it's going to be either Tommy Roux he's got to face or nothing. He might come out ahead of Tommy Roux and everything will be absolutely rosy. But with only a 26-second lead on the Rooster at the moment, I don't think it's going to happen. Deviant might be too far to go on the attack of the Lexi. but he's given it a damn good try, isn't he, ladies and gents? Cole back up and into fifth. He's got himself ahead of the Renault, and Jed does have to make that stop. That must mean that MJ's already made his stop. Sorry, MJ. Making his pit stop down to ninth. It's not what he wants. Thunder, I think, might be able to get to the end of the race. Beaks looks like he's going to get to the end of the race. Jed is going to have to make a stop, so that's a position for MJ. But MJ riding high in in third place, a good portion of the latter half of this race. I imagine he was thinking that third place was a possibility, but at the moment, no, there isn't enough people making pit stops to warrant him getting up there. And Vodgrov saying, I'm full electric. Yeah, that's what we are. Oh, no, it's storage heaters that are being fitted, actually. I just call it central heating. Yeah, we're full electric. The lady who had the house before, well, not before us, but before the family that before us, she couldn't be trusted with the gas. I think she used to be forgetful, so they cut the gas off to our house. And when we moved in, we thought, we're going to all do all that. And do you know what? You don't need it. We haven't once thought, God, we wish we had some gas in this house. Safer. We're economy. We are economical mofos. Saving the world here at Thingamajig's residence. Full on electric. So I can drive a gas guzzler, okay? I think I'm allowed because I'm fully electric. There's no gas in our house except for the one that I make. Methane! Tommy Roo then in third spot, 20 seconds adrift of the Bob, but his arrows are pointed right at the Sport here, and the Sport is coming upon the time to make his pit stop. So MJ did move up from the Jed. Oh no, MJ is not going the way he wants to be going, but it's good. He's safe behind because Jed has still pitted. So MJ then doing a bit of showboating, maybe going for that final fastest lap of the race, because he's a fair way off whoever he's racing. Just a little wide there, I think. Cold tyres. Oh, it's not as bad as what it looked. It's a good job we did the replay. I had all minds that you had a 360 spin and there was shards flying everywhere. But that wasn't too bad. That was okay. Nice save, in fact. So, yeah, MJ, small off, but nothing to worry about, nothing to concern yourself with. This is the stop we've been waiting for, especially a boy called Tommy. And the Rooster then has already moved up. It didn't take long, did it? Unbelievable stuff. Deviant, is he in the shout? I don't think he is, you know. I think the Lexi is pretty safe in that third spot. He's been released. He's just enough fuel to get to the end. Brand new soft tyres. 7 seconds adrift of the Roo. But the Rooster is flying at the moment, and it's going to be a tough one. And the Beaks does need to make a pit stop. I'm telling you, man. Why did you make that early stop? Why did you make the early stop? Your race could have been so different, my friend. So different. If I could speak Dutch, I would tell you. Bob leads the Roo in second, and that, ladies and gentlemen, has been an astounding turnaround from when he got the damage with Deviant and Cull, and he had to make that early pit stop with those boys. He has absolutely slung that Audi into another universe. And Vodkrop saying, yeah, it's safer. I do prefer to cook with gas, though. Not that I do any these days. Yeah, I was going to say, you're always taking takeout. I've heard McDonald's have got a new burger. Well, actually, my dad told me McDonald's got a new burger. That is not a reliable source. But he said he was going to go there after he left here. And he sent me a text, so I'm sure I've got a review of the new burger. Hot on my phone. A big arch? It's still Big Arch. Yeah, I know what Big Arch is. He's full of it, isn't he? I've had a Big Arch. No new burger. It's still the same burger. I thought that was ending. I want my big tasty, man. So Bob out there in the lead, 20 seconds by the Roo. Roo 8 seconds on Autosport. Autosport 11 seconds ahead of Deviant. Then we have the Cull, only 5.5 seconds behind Deviant in his banger of a Nissan. And do you know what? I'd say I won't count Cull out of this. I know. He had damage at the early doors, so his race was compromised from the off. But I think on some twistier tracks, not so much all about the horsepower and the straight line speed, I think the Nissan might be a danger. So, yeah, keep an eye on the Cull throughout this season. Thunder in 6th place in the Porsche. And he looks like he wants to catch up the Cull. 48.7 last time around. Cull doing a 48.7 also. So Thunder is going to be on a road to frustration there if he fancies his chances catching up with a Cull. Beeks, you sod. He didn't change his tyres. He just went in and topped up. He topped up the smallest amount of fuel. What is wrong with you? Oh, he pitted too early. Oh, God, golly, and gosh, I thought that Renault had something there. It did. I'm sure he messed his pit stop up. He went in too early. He could have done this with 2 stops. Easily done this race with 2 stops. I think he would have been up there fighting the Lexus. Just my opinion, I may be wrong. We'll never know, because he made an early stop and then he's had to go in and have a top up before the end. MJ then only 1.2 seconds behind him, and his tyres are so much more healthier than the Renault. Did he go in? Because he was ahead of MJ anyway, wasn't he? Was he that much ahead of MJ? Oh, MJ's rear derriere though doesn't want to go. That could have been so much worse than what it was. It wasn't all that bad in the end, but MJ pushing hard to catch up with the Renault, and the Renault is on a very shady old set of soft tyres at the moment. Thunder 20 seconds up the road from that battle, only 6 seconds behind the Cull, but the Cull is sending it hard. 48.5 last time around, Thunder a 48.7. Jed having half a smell at the air and seeing an opportunity with MJ dropping 6 seconds. He was 12 seconds ahead of the Polish Wonder, and now he's dropped 6 seconds ahead of the Honda driver, and the Honda driver can smell blood. He can smell blood, you know, in the air. So Jed then driving with a cause. Aussie in 10th. He did it in 2 stops, didn't he? He didn't mess around. He got his strategy on the money. 10th place at the moment, and it looks like he's not going to catch up the boys ahead, and he's not going to be too fussed about the guys behind. So Storm and OJ looking a little further back. OJH 24 seconds behind in the Mazda, and Sir Storm 30 seconds. Sir Storm making up a bit of time. I thought he was a lot further back to OJH than that, and Sir Storm has managed to pull a bit of time back in this race. And the Hoods in 11th in the not 11th, 13th, sorry. Yes, 13th. Still 13th runners, started 13, still have 13 on track. That is amazing. Great guns. I am so pleased for the guys out there. A good run. And Vodprov saying about the big arch, I think it's gone longer with it being popular, the big arch that is. Vodprov also saying, I'm just considering what to have now. Might have a Chinese. Oh yeah, man. And Vodka saying chips, peas and omelette with egg, fried rice and curry sauce. Good choice. I usually go for a pork and chicken chow mein special in barbecue sauce with egg fried rice. And maybe a cheeky little vegetable spring roll. So Bob there, 22 seconds ahead of Tommy Roo. Tommy Roo lengthening the distance to Autosport. Autosport couldn't mount an attack on the Rooster. And the Rooster then finishing in second in his Audi Beast. Great stuff. Autosport third in the Lexus with Deviant. What could have been without the earlier accident in the McShady has turned it around though for finishing 4th place. The Cull in 5th in the battered old banger, outdated, used up Nissan. And Thunder in 6th in his shiny Porsche, ahead of the Ford of MJ in 7th, who's only 5.5 seconds now ahead of the Honda, whom is closing in like he has a cause. He has a belief system, and no one can knock it. He can believe that he can catch the Ford up in his Honda. We are only 5 minutes away from the checkered flag, though, so that's a second a minute he's got to make up. And MJ just pulled out a bit more on him. Beeks is a fool. He's been in again. What can I say? I don't know. His debrief after this race is going to be interesting. Sorry, I don't mean he's a fool. I just think the race could have been so different for him. He's made 2 more stops than I thought he was going to make. One of those stops, it didn't look like he did anything. And now he's been in again for tyres. It's like he heard me say, my word, he's going to do the least pit stops in this race, and said, hold my beer. Or he's Dutch, so hold my spliff. Aussie in 10th, 32 seconds behind the Beats, the Renault driver, and OJH in 11th, ahead of Sir Storm in 12th, and the Hoods in 13th. But it's Bob, really, that all of the attributes has to go to. He has had a phenomenal race, it has to be said. And but Rob's saying can't really call mine Chinese, really, though. Yours is from the English part of the Chinese menu. They've got a small box that says English, and it's usually about 5 omelettes and a chicken. And you've gone chips, peas, and omelette with egg fried rice and curry sauce. So kind of slightly Chinese there, Vodka Rob. Vodka Rob also saying, can't believe the Toad got pole at Monza. Oh, leave Maxi Pad alone. He's all right. You ever watched that video of him doing the with the Top Gear bloke doing the lap? It seems all right, you know. So Bob then in the lead with the Rooster in second, 10 seconds ahead of the Sport. The Deviant there in 4th. Ahead of Cull. Cull closing in though, but Deviant maybe looking after his fuel. Not what, 2.5 minutes to go. He's not looking after no fuel, is he? So Cull though going for one last hurrah against Deviant, and Thunder there is in 6th. Thunder even looking closer now than these guys. I thought he was a lot further back than that. MJ maintaining that 6-second gap between himself and the Polish Wonder. The Polish Wonder picking up a penalty, pushing so hard is Jed Rasek at the moment that he's given himself a naughty boy signature. And the Beaks, my friend, the Renault with an amazing fuel tank that didn't get utilised. What can I say? Flia is all I can think. As the Bob comes around to put a lap on Renault. And I believe the Renault should have finished a lot higher than that. That's an interesting one, but still a surprise. And that little BMW Z4, is it? That's a little bullet, isn't it, ladies and gents? Got something to say, Cat? Say it to my face, not my back. So Bob cruising, ladies and gents, cruising to another win in the world racing community. But really the real winners are me and you for a phenomenal 90 minutes of racing, even though I told you it was only 60 minutes. I lied to you. I'm sorry. And Vodgrov saying I always used the Renault on GT Sport. It was good on fuel. He went 30 minutes in the first part without pitting. Everyone else had pitted, and he got himself up to about 4th or something, and then made his pit stop. And I was like, God damn it! If he can get to another half an hour on that fuel tank, he's laughing. He's going to be in a podium position because everyone else has got to make the pit stops. And then for some reason, Vodka, you wouldn't believe it, with like 36 minutes on the clock, he came in with the pits and he had he still had a quarter of a tank on board. He pitted 6 minutes earlier than the 30-minute mark with a quarter of a tank on board. He could have easily got to 30 minutes. And I don't know, he put soft tyres on and then he had to come in and change his soft tyres. But it didn't look like he changed his tyres. He just made a pit stop for a top of the fuel and then went out and then came back in again for tyres. So, yeah, his race went from absolutely superb to, oh my God, this is a Ferrari strategy if ever I've seen one. He took it right out the Ferrari playbook, I tell you. Deviant then has crossed the line in 4th place. Great drive. Cull is next in 5th place with the Thunder coming home in 6th. MJ, 22 seconds down the road. There is someone ahead of him, but I think it might be Sir Storm. So MJ then getting himself a great 7th place there. And I'm sure he'll take that. He's had some poor results of late, and that one will be a good lift for him at racing. Hey, he's the next man to cross the line to take the win. Great driving from AT Racing, or Bob, as we can call him. Franz Hermann, possibly. Comes up to the line for a win. Great stuff there, Bob. Tommy Roo further down the list. I think that was Jed who just crossed then. Beeks has already finished. Ozzy's finished. Yeah, they've all finished. Tommy Roo then is the next man to cross the line. And a great comeback there from Tommy Roo. Absolutely amazing drive. And he stole that 2nd place from Autosport there in the race. Brilliant drive from Tommy the Rooster. And Autosport rounding out your podium, carrying on that great form from the not the Super Formulas, the Red Bull Juniors. Great stuff. Great Scott, as a great man once said. And AT Racing then taking the pole position, but not the fastest lap. I didn't look. We'll have a look in a second. Let's see if I can grab this for thumbnail reasons. And then let's see at the results here. So, oh, you did get best lap. Sorry. I don't know why I didn't say he had fastest lap on that thing. Just said clean race and pole. But he also got the fastest lap. So, Bob, there you go. In the Z4, taking all the spoils by nearly 30 seconds from Tommy Roo in the Audi R8. Then Autosport in the Lexus RC in 3rd, rounding out your podium. Great drives from all of them. Deviant in 4th. Early troubles, early woes with the Cull, and but he turned that one around, as did Tommy Roo and the Cull. Finishing in 5th. Thunder in 6th. MJ in 7th. The Jed in 8th. Beeks in 9th, which is a travesty. And he wants to have a word with his strategy team. Ozzy as well. He's got the fuel tank. I think in a couple of these races, if he gets it right, he's going to be a force there in 10th. OJH in the spaceship in 11th. We've got Sir Storm in 12th. And the Hoods coming home in 13th in the BMW. Ladies and gentlemen, that was fantastic. The World Racing Community offering up a great slice of beautiful racing there. And if I can quickly scan their Discord, I can tell you where we are next Saturday for you to write it in your calendar. Jot it down. Find a pen quickly. Not there. That's not where you left the pen. There. That's it. You got the pen? Right. Jot it down. Next week, Watkins Glen. Ladies and gentlemen, Watkins Glen. Next Saturday. Same place. Same time. And same rules. So do not miss a blooming second. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for those in the chat. Vodka Rob, especially you. Always good to see you in the chat. And cheers. Do all the things YouTube like you to do. I don't like to tell you. You can do that yourself. And you can work it out what they want. And I'll see you next time. We've got plenty of streams to come, don't you worry. I have not finished by a long shot this weekend. I am still drowning in replays. So, yes, I will be back, as a great actor once said. Well, not a great actor, but an okay actor. Not really an okay actor. Quite an dismal actor once said. I'll be back. Cheerio. Peace and love. Peace and...